Have you ever wondered how a young boy from South Carolina with a dream and an extraordinary voice became one of the most beloved singers in music history? How did a man who began performing as a teenager grow into the voice behind some of the most memorable love songs ever recorded and the unforgettable Disney classics that touched millions around the world? Today, we're taking a deep dive into the incredible life, career, triumphs, challenges, and legacy of Peabo Bryson. From his humble beginnings to Grammy-winning success, from chart-topping ballads to timeless duets, this is the remarkable story of a man whose voice became the soundtrack to generations of love stories. Peabo Bryson was born Robert Peabo Bryson on April 13, 1951, in Greenville, South Carolina. Growing up in a modest household, he developed a love for music at a very young age. His mother played an important role in encouraging his musical interests, exposing him to a variety of musical styles that would later influence his own sound. While many children were focused on ordinary childhood activities, young Peabo was already discovering a passion that would shape the rest of his life. Music was more than entertainment for him. It was a calling. As he grew older, Bryson's talent became increasingly apparent. He possessed a smooth, rich voice that stood out from those around him. By the age of 14, he was already performing professionally, gaining valuable experience that would prepare him for a lifelong career in entertainment. Unlike many aspiring singers who only focused on performing, Bryson also developed skills as a songwriter, arranger, and producer. These talents gave him a deeper understanding of music and helped distinguish him from other artists entering the industry. During his teenage years, Bryson performed on the Southern touring circuit and eventually became associated with Moses Dillard and the Textown Display. Touring taught him discipline, professionalism, and the importance of connecting with audiences. Every performance helped refine his stage presence and vocal abilities. Although success did not come overnight, these experiences provided the foundation upon which he would build a remarkable career. In the 1970s, Bryson relocated to Atlanta, a city that would become instrumental in his professional growth. It was there that he began attracting greater attention within the music industry. His early recordings showcased a distinctive style that blended soul, R&B, and romantic balladry. His smooth vocal delivery and emotional sincerity resonated with listeners, helping him establish a loyal fan base. Atlanta remained his home for more than 5 decades and served as the launching pad for much of his success. In 1976, Bryson released his debut album, Peabo. While the album did not instantly transform him into a superstar, it introduced audiences to a singer with exceptional talent and enormous potential. The project opened doors within the music industry and led to further recording opportunities. Soon afterward, he signed with a major label and began releasing albums that would steadily increase his popularity. His breakthrough years arrived in the late 1970s and early 1980s. Albums such as Reaching for the Sky and Crosswinds achieved commercial success and helped establish him as one of R&B's premier vocalists. Songs like Feel the Fire, I'm So Into You, and Reaching for the Sky showcased his ability to combine powerful emotion with flawless vocal technique. These recordings helped define the romantic soul sound of the era and earned him widespread respect among both fans and fellow musicians. One of Bryson's greatest strengths was his ability to perform duets. Throughout his career, he collaborated with many of the music industry's most talented female vocalists. In 1979, he recorded with Natalie Cole, beginning a series of successful collaborations that demonstrated his remarkable versatility. His voice blended effortlessly with others while still maintaining its unique character. These collaborations expanded his audience and cemented his reputation as one of the most sought-after duet partners in popular music. The next major milestone in his career came when he teamed up with Roberta Flack. Their duet, Tonight I Celebrate My Love, became one of the defining romantic songs of the 1980s. The song achieved international success and remains a favorite among fans decades later. The chemistry between Bryson and Flack was undeniable, and their collaboration demonstrated how powerful a duet could be when two exceptional vocalists came together. By the mid-1980s, Bryson's solo career was flourishing as well. His hit song, If Ever You're in My Arms Again became one of his signature recordings and introduced him to an even broader audience. The song showcased his ability to convey vulnerability, sincerity, and deep emotion. It remains one of the most beloved love songs of the era and continues to receive airplay today. As the years passed, Bryson continued building a reputation as one of the most reliable and respected vocalists in the music business. His consistency was remarkable. While many artists struggled to adapt to changing musical trends, Bryson remained relevant by staying true to his strengths while evolving as a performer. His music appealed to both longtime fans and new listeners, allowing him to sustain a successful career across multiple decades. However, the greatest commercial success of his career was still ahead. In the early 1990s, Bryson's voice would become known to an entirely new generation through a partnership with Disney. What followed would transform him from a respected R&B singer into an international household name. The early 1990s marked a turning point in Peabo Bryson's career. Although he had already spent nearly 2 decades building a successful reputation as an R&B vocalist, few could have predicted how dramatically his profile would rise during this period. His association with Disney would introduce his voice to millions of people around the world and secure his place in music history. In 1991, Disney released its animated masterpiece, Beauty and the Beast. The company wanted a contemporary pop version of the title song to accompany the film and help promote it to a broader audience. Peabo Bryson was chosen to record the duet alongside a young Canadian singer who was still establishing herself internationally, Celine Dion. The decision would prove to be brilliant. Their recording of Beauty and the Beast became an enormous success, reaching listeners far beyond Disney's traditional audience. The song showcased Bryson's extraordinary ability to convey emotion through music. His warm, expressive vocals complemented Dion's soaring voice perfectly. Together, they created a recording that captured the romance, elegance, and timeless quality of the film itself. The song became a major hit and introduced Bryson to countless new fans around the world. More importantly, it earned him his first Grammy Award, a milestone achievement in a career that had already produced many memorable moments. For many artists, a Grammy-winning hit would represent the pinnacle of success. For Peabo Bryson, however, an even greater achievement was just around the corner. In 1992, Disney released Aladdin, another animated classic destined to become one of the most beloved films of all time. Once again, Disney turned to Peabo Bryson to perform the movie's signature song. This time, he was paired with Regina Belle for the recording of A Whole New World. The result was magical. A Whole New World quickly became a global sensation. The song captured the wonder, excitement, and romance of the film while showcasing Bryson's remarkable vocal abilities. Audiences around the world embraced the recording, and it eventually reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. It remains one of the few Disney songs ever to achieve that distinction. The success of A Whole New World elevated Bryson's career to new heights. The song won another Grammy Award and became one of the most recognizable recordings of the decade. Even decades later, it continues to be celebrated as one of Disney's greatest musical achievements. For many younger listeners, Peabo Bryson's voice became synonymous with Disney magic. Although Disney introduced him to a new audience, Bryson never abandoned the style of music that had made him famous. Throughout the 1990s, he continued releasing albums and recording songs that reflected his roots in soul and R&B. His ability to balance mainstream success with artistic authenticity earned him admiration throughout the music industry. By this stage of his career, Bryson had become one of the most respected duet partners in popular music. In addition to his collaborations with Roberta Flack, Celine Dion, and Regina Belle, he worked with a variety of talented artists. His voice blended effortlessly with others while maintaining its own unique identity. Few singers possessed such a gift. Throughout his career, Bryson released more than 20 studio albums. Among the most notable were Peabo, Reaching for the Sky, Crosswinds, Paradise, Turn the Hands of Time, I Am Love, Straight from the Heart, Take No Prisoners, Positive, All My Love, Can You Stop the Rain, Through the Fire, Unconditional Love, Missing You, and Stand for Love. These albums showcased his versatility as an artist and demonstrated his ability to evolve while remaining true to his musical roots. His catalog produced numerous charting singles that became favorites among fans. Songs such as Feel the Fire, I'm So Into You, Let the Feeling Flow, Reaching for the Sky, If Ever You're in My Arms Again, Can You Stop the Rain, Show and Tell, and By the Time This Night Is Over remained beloved decades after their release. Each song highlighted a different aspect of his artistry, from powerful vocal performances to deeply emotional storytelling. Recognition from the music industry continued throughout his career. Bryson received multiple Grammy Award nominations, including nominations for Best Male R&B Vocal Performance and Best Traditional R&B Vocal Performance. His Grammy wins for Beauty and the Beast and A Whole New World remain among the most significant honors of his career, but they were far from the only evidence of the respect he earned within the industry. His achievements extended beyond the Grammy Awards. Songs associated with Disney films received Academy Award recognition, Golden Globe recognition, and widespread critical acclaim. Bryson's contributions played a significant role in helping these songs become cultural landmarks. His performances brought emotional depth and authenticity to recordings that continue to be cherished by audiences around the world. Away from the spotlight, Bryson was known for his humility and professionalism. Unlike many celebrities who constantly sought media attention, he preferred to focus on his work. Friends and colleagues frequently described him as gracious, respectful, and deeply committed to his craft. Despite decades of success, he remained approachable and appreciative of the fans who supported him throughout his journey. Bryson also demonstrated generosity toward aspiring artists. Throughout his career, he frequently shared advice and encouragement with younger performers. Many singers cited him as an influence, not only because of his vocal abilities, but also because of the dignity and professionalism he brought to the music industry. While he was not widely known for large-scale public philanthropic campaigns, he consistently supported charitable events, benefit concerts, and community causes when called upon. His influence on modern R&B cannot be overstated. Numerous artists who followed him have acknowledged the impact his music had on their development. His smooth vocal style helped shape contemporary romantic R&B and established a standard of excellence that many singers continue to admire and emulate. Yet despite his success, awards, and international recognition, Bryson's life was not without challenges. Behind the scenes, he faced personal and financial difficulties that tested his resilience. These struggles would become one of the most difficult chapters of his life, proving that even the most successful artists are not immune to hardship. Despite the remarkable success he achieved throughout his career, Peabo Bryson faced significant challenges that tested both his resilience and determination. Like many entertainers, he experienced periods of financial difficulty despite years of hit records, sold-out performances, and industry recognition. One of the most publicized setbacks occurred in the early 2000s when tax problems led to serious financial consequences. Reports indicated that he owed more than $1 million in back taxes, resulting in the seizure and auction of numerous personal possessions. Among the items reportedly sold were musical equipment, furniture, and even his Grammy Awards. For many artists, such a public and painful experience might have ended their careers. However, Peabo Bryson refused to allow adversity to define him. Rather than withdrawing from the spotlight, he continued performing, recording, and doing what he loved most: singing. His perseverance demonstrated the same determination that had carried him from a young performer in South Carolina to an internationally recognized music star. Fans admired his ability to remain focused despite the challenges he faced. Throughout these difficult years, Bryson remained committed to his music. He continued touring and connecting with audiences who appreciated not only his extraordinary voice, but also his authenticity. Many artists achieve fame, but not all maintain the loyalty of fans for decades. Bryson's ability to endure both triumphs and setbacks helped strengthen the bond he shared with his audience. Although he was widely recognized for his professional accomplishments, Bryson generally kept his personal life private. Unlike many celebrities, he rarely sought attention for matters unrelated to his music. This preference for privacy allowed him to maintain a relatively normal life away from the public eye. Beyond his successful music career, Peabo Bryson was also a devoted family man. He is survived by his wife, Tanya Boniface, a singer known for her work with the British R&B group The 411, and his children. Reports following his passing indicate that he was survived by his son, Robert, otherwise called Kit, and his daughter, Linda. He was also a proud grandfather to 3 grandchildren. Although Bryson generally kept his family life private and away from the public spotlight, those closest to him described him as a loving father who valued family above fame. Even while touring and recording, he worked to maintain strong relationships with his loved ones, and family remained one of the most important parts of his life. As the music industry evolved and trends changed, Bryson continued adapting while remaining true to the style that made him successful. New generations of listeners discovered his music through streaming services, digital platforms, and Disney's enduring popularity. Songs like Beauty and the Beast and A Whole New World introduced younger audiences to his voice, while longtime fans continued supporting the classic recordings that had defined his career. Even after spending decades in the music business, Bryson never lost his passion for performing. In 2018, he released Stand for Love, his first studio album in several years. The project demonstrated that his vocal abilities remained impressive and that he still had meaningful stories to tell through music. Critics and fans welcomed the release, viewing it as evidence that one of R&B's most respected voices still had much to offer. However, health challenges soon emerged. In April 2019, Bryson suffered a heart attack. News of the medical emergency shocked fans around the world. Given his age and the seriousness of the condition, many feared the worst. Fortunately, he received prompt medical treatment and eventually recovered. His resilience once again became evident as he worked toward regaining his health and returning to the activities he loved. The recovery process was not easy, but Bryson remained determined. Friends, family, fellow artists, and fans rallied around him, offering support and encouragement. His ability to overcome yet another major obstacle inspired many people who followed his career. It served as a reminder that strength is often measured not by the absence of challenges, but by the willingness to face them head-on. Following his recovery, Bryson continued making appearances and celebrating the remarkable legacy he had built over the course of more than 50 years in music. By this point, his influence extended far beyond his own recordings. Countless artists had been inspired by his vocal style, professionalism, and commitment to excellence. His contributions to R&B, soul, adult contemporary music, and film soundtracks had secured his place among the great singers of his era. Over the course of his career, Peabo Bryson earned an estimated net worth generally reported in the range of several $1,000,000, despite the financial difficulties he experienced during certain periods of his life. Estimates varied depending on the source, but most reports placed his net worth at approximately $5 million at different stages of his later career. His wealth came primarily from album sales, concert performances, royalties, licensing agreements, and decades of successful work in the music industry. Although financial setbacks affected him, his contributions to music continued generating income and preserving his legacy. As the years passed, Bryson remained respected throughout the entertainment world. Fellow musicians frequently praised his vocal abilities and acknowledged his influence on their own careers. Many regarded him as one of the greatest romantic singers ever recorded. His voice possessed a rare combination of technical excellence and emotional depth that allowed listeners to connect with his music on a personal level. Sadly, in 2026, Bryson's health took a serious turn. Reports indicated that he suffered a stroke and was hospitalized. Family members and loved ones remained by his side as fans around the world hoped for positive news. Unfortunately, his condition deteriorated. On June 2, 2026, Peabo Bryson passed away at the age of 75. According to statements released by his family, he died following complications related to a stroke. The announcement immediately triggered an outpouring of grief and remembrance throughout the music community. Fans shared memories of his songs, fellow artists paid tribute to his influence, and media outlets around the world celebrated his extraordinary career. Many people remembered him as the voice behind some of the greatest love songs ever recorded. Others remembered him as the artist who brought Disney classics to life. For some, he represented the golden era of romantic R&B. For others, he symbolized musical excellence and professionalism. Regardless of how people first encountered his work, there was widespread agreement that Peabo Bryson possessed one of the finest voices in modern music history. The response to his passing demonstrated the profound impact he had on audiences around the world. Tributes poured in from fellow musicians, actors, industry executives, and devoted fans. Many highlighted not only his vocal talent, but also his kindness, humility, and dedication to his craft. His influence extended beyond charts and awards. He touched lives through music, creating memories that would last long after his final performance. When historians look back on the evolution of R&B and romantic balladry, Peabo Bryson's name will undoubtedly occupy a prominent place. His recordings continue to be played at weddings, anniversaries, family gatherings, and special occasions around the world. His Disney songs remain beloved by generations of children and adults alike. His classic R&B recordings continue inspiring listeners decades after their release. Few artists manage to remain relevant across multiple generations. Even fewer succeed in crossing genres as effectively as Peabo Bryson did. He excelled in soul, R&B, adult contemporary music, pop duets, and film soundtracks. His versatility allowed him to connect with diverse audiences while maintaining the authenticity that made him unique. Today, Peabo Bryson's legacy lives on through his music. Every time someone listens to "If Ever You're in My Arms Again," "Tonight I Celebrate My Love," "Beauty and the Beast," "Can You Stop the Rain," or "A Whole New World," they experience the extraordinary gift that made him one of the most beloved singers of his generation. His voice continues to inspire, comfort, and entertain millions around the world. Though Peabo Bryson is no longer with us, his contributions to music will endure for generations. His story is one of talent, perseverance, resilience, and passion. From humble beginnings in South Carolina to international stardom, he demonstrated what can happen when extraordinary ability is combined with dedication and hard work. As we celebrate the life and legacy of Peabo Bryson, we remember not only the awards he won or the records he sold, but also the emotions he evoked through his music. His songs helped people fall in love, heal from heartbreak, celebrate life's special moments, and dream of new possibilities. That is a legacy few artists can claim. If you enjoyed this tribute, like this video, subscribe to Global Vibes TV, and share your favorite Peabo Bryson memory or song in the comments below. Until next time, thank you for